Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top news stories, let's take a look outside our weather window on this Friday. Not a bad day around north central Washington today. Beautiful shot up north from our Billy Goat Sky-Fi Tower camera, and it overlooks part of the Methow Valley with Pateros and Brewster off to the left part of your screen, and lots of blue sky up that way. Things warmed up there. And as we take a look at what we can expect as we get deeper into March, there you go, our 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. Slightly above normal, and as far as temperatures go, we will be below normal as we make our way in farther to March. Also, big news about a winter storm this weekend that will affect us right here in the Wenatchee Valley, and we'll have that for you coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. A Chelan teenager pleaded guilty this week to setting a barn fire that injured 2 sheriff's deputies last summer. The Washington State Department of Health is ending the Secretary of Health mask order, and we will take you to a day in the life of a school resource officer. But first, our top story tonight, rape charges against a Wenatchee man have been dismissed after nearly 4 years without a trial. 58-year-old Stephen Adam Tibbetts was arrested in 2019 on allegations that he drugged, photographed, and sexually assaulted a woman while she could not consent. Tibbetts' attorney, Brandon Riedall, argued that prosecutors had still not provided him with all the evidence collected in the case, including any data from Tibbetts' cell phone. Judge Robert Jordan ruled on Wednesday that the Chelan County Prosecutor's Office had not met its obligations for discovery, and any evidence gathered from the phone was inadmissible at trial. Both parties agreed yesterday to dismiss all 8 criminal charges. Tibbetts still faces sexual assault charges in Grant County. The Chelan County case could still be refiled if new evidence emerges. A Chelan teenager pleaded guilty this week to setting a barn fire that injured 2 sheriff's deputies last summer. 18-year-old Connor Leo Strange entered a plea Wednesday to counts of first-degree arson and second-degree assault. Last July, Strange set a fire while hiding from police inside a barn on the Chelan rodeo grounds. The heat and gases led to an explosion which left the Chelan County deputies with concussions. Strange himself suffered burns to his foot. Prosecutors say they'll ask for a low sentence due to Strange's youth. He's set to be sentenced 2 weeks from now and faces a possible 5-year prison term. In other news, the Washington State Department of Health is ending the Secretary of Health mask order. Beginning April 3rd, requirements in health care, long-term care, and adult correctional facilities for people age 5 and older will no longer be required. The DOH cited the continued decline of COVID-19, RSV, and influenza rates and hospitalization since the end of last year as part of that decision. Going forward, local or tribal governments, facilities, and providers will have a choice whether or not to continue requiring masks. Most of the indoor mask requirements ended in March in Washington State. Well, when East Wenatchee Police Officer Ivy Jacobson started as the district school resource officer, she was the only police representative walking the halls and getting to know students. Since then, she's been joined on school patrols by fellow resource officer Isaac Cooper. Earlier this week, the Eastmont School District produced a video on one day in the officers' lives. Here's a sample.
So it's just all about those little interactions, building relationships with the students, getting to know them, and connecting them on their level. Being one with the kids is how I like to mold my way into their lives, if that makes sense, yes.
I cannot fathom how she did this all by herself with going through 9 schools, because it's not just the junior highs and the high school, you're also dealing with all the elementary schools involved. So for her to be able to go back and forth by herself was beyond, I don't know how she did it. So having obviously 2 resource officers is good because you're able to spread out that caseload. And it's easier too as far as security purposes to be able to be at 2 places at once compared to 1 place at once.
When we come back, the largest retrofitted airplane run on hydrogen took flight in Moses Lake yesterday. The Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce held their annual banquet last night, which recognized local businesses, nonprofits, and community members. And Eastmont High students are working with audio-video equipment and software each day to highlight what's happening at the school through their daily show called Wildcat Rundown. We'll show you that video. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
At Prestige Senior Living, we celebrate life at every age. From our cognitive and fall reduction programs to our focus on life enrichment and wellness, we help our residents maintain independence while nurturing mind, body, and spirit. Residents also enjoy a wide variety of amenities and services, including restaurant quality dining, housekeeping, a full calendar of events, and so much more. To learn more or to schedule a tour, visit us at prestigecare.com or call the number on your screen. We can't wait to show you around.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bob File Boats and Motors. Now you can fish like a pro without breaking the bank thanks to the ProMag aluminum fishing boat by Smokercraft. It features a great layout with a spacious bow casting platform, huge live wells, and in-floor storage to safely stow your gear. See the Smokercraft line of boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Bob File Boats and Motors, we're dealing. Bob File's gonna make you smile.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Welcome back. In another news, the largest retrofitted airplane run on hydrogen took flight in Moses Lake yesterday. The de Havilland Canada Dash 8300 reached an altitude of 3,500 feet and flew for 15 minutes. The Dash 8300 has a capacity for 40 passengers and has a potential flight distance of 600 miles. The office of Senator Maria Cantwell, who was the chair on the Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation, said the emission-free flight could potentially be the plane for all regional flights in Washington state. Universal Hydrogen, who worked to convert the plane to be hydrogen-powered, is working with the Federal Aviation Administration to complete testing plans to ensure flight safety and establish hydrogen flight regulations. The Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce held their annual banquet last night, which recognized local businesses, nonprofits, and community members. The Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center was named 2022 Nonprofit of the Year, and the 2022 Business of the Year went to the Yogi Grind. The awards also honored two local leaders for their work. Norma Gallegos, Program Director for Hand in Hand Immigration. She was awarded the Cornerstone Award. And Visit Chelan County Executive Director Jerry Barkley was awarded the Tourism Impact Award. Other nominees of the night included Sustainable North Central Washington and the Community for the Advancement of Family Education for Nonprofit of the Year. Also, Spidell Benson LLP and Firehouse Pet Shop were also nominated for Business of the Year. Eastmont High students are working with audio-video equipment and software each day to highlight what's happening at the school through their daily show, the Wildcat Rundown. They put together a behind-the-scenes look, especially for us right here at the NCWLIFE channel.
Do you know what's happening at EHS? If you haven't checked out our Facebook or website, here's what you're missing out on.
Welcome to the EHS Broadcast Media Team. We produce daily video reports that highlight events, activities, sports, clubs, and more. Our goal is to keep you informed on what's happening at EHS in an entertaining way.
We do a lot of different things in this class, and we work hard to make sure our videos are informative and entertaining for all of our viewers. Some days we're super productive, but then obviously some days we might get a little off task.
Watch him! Happy birthday, everyone. Hello, you're supposed to keep going.
Back to the stew.
It gets a little crazy, but we still get the videos done.
Our team consists of writers, anchors, teleprompter operators, camera operators, editors, and directors who work together every day to create our Wildcat rundowns.
Good morning, Wildcats.
I'm Kendama,
And I'm Sophisticated.
and this is your
Wildcat Rundown.
In addition to producing daily videos for our website and social media pages, teachers also present the videos to their first period classes, so everyone can watch us. It's a great way for us to interact with other students while still getting information out there about what's going on at EHS.
So if you want to stay up to date on everything happening at EHS, be sure to check out the Wildcat Rundowns on our website and social media pages.
Back to the stew!
Nice work, and we look forward to more videos down the road directly from the students at Eastmont High School. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story about a Leavenworth roundtable with wildlife experts to talk about human-bear interactions and how to minimize their impact. Also, we'll have a look at your complete local weekend weather, which now looks like we are in for a snow event. That and much more still to come. Please stay with us.
You've got a lot to do today. While you're out and about, remember to dispose of your unused medications safely and anonymously. It's a simple act that makes your home a safer place. Next time you're at the pharmacy, just place them in the drop box. To find a location, visit medproject.org.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's feature story, communities like Leavenworth are becoming more bear aware lately after an attack on a local woman by a black bear with 2 cubs that led to wildlife agents to track and kill the animal last October. On Wednesday, the Wenatchee River Institute in Leavenworth hosted a roundtable with wildlife experts to talk about human-bear interactions and how to minimize their impact. High on the list of attractors for black bears is simple: everyday residential trash.
It's a big deal keeping garbage away from bears, and it's not that hard if you can just store it, in a place they can't get to until the morning of. That goes a long ways in a lot of the neighborhoods. Quite honestly, it's not that hard.
In years with poor berry production, we'll have bears come clear 30 miles up the Chumstick and make their way to town for 2 weeks and then head back up to where they live the rest of the year and never come back just for that 2-week period. Sometimes it's focused around when the apples are ripe. Sometimes it's not. But then they teach their kids to do that, and then the kids will do that too. So it's pretty amazing how they'll come. And that's not just the learned bears around town. That's backcountry bears that are making their way because they know that there's calories here, and then they pass that on generation after generation. So it is real important that we remove that and stop that cycle. So Leavenworth in 2022 was a tough year. You probably heard a lot about it. I mean, we had a female that was killed on East Leavenworth Road, was resulted in 2 orphan cubs. We had another female killed at the intersection between Icicle and East Leavenworth Road, 2 more orphans. Female killed at Commercial Street, also 2 orphan cubs, which we found out actually had names. So this is part of the whole process too, is making sure you're reporting, right? Bears should not have names. East Leavenworth Road is one of the hot spots. Ski Hill Road, site of another killing and a couple of orphans this year, right up against that interface of the National Forest. That's a hot spot. Icicle Road has always been a hot spot here in town. Chumstick has been a hot spot. And now we're talking about Commercial Street being a hot spot. I think in my time, I could probably count 10 bears that we've killed right in here. That's not good.
Let's take a look now at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Big changes from the National Weather Service late this afternoon, and we'll talk about that in a second. First, let's enjoy this beautiful shot from our Wenatchee Heights Skyfi Tower camera looking down at the Wenatchee Valley. Some darker clouds moving into our area now after some blue sky earlier, and that allowed us to warm up today. In fact, it was warmer than we thought for the second day in a row now. 46, our unofficial high temperature today, and that's just 2 degrees below where we should be for this time of year at 48. 62, our record just 3 years ago, set in 2020. 26, our morning low this morning, 5 degrees below 31, which is normal for this time of year, and 10 is our record cold, and that was set in 2019. Sunrise 6:37, and the sun sets at 5:49. Taking a look at what we can expect temperature-wise as we get you into the upcoming weekend. Expect to cool down. We're going to see that both days. 44 in Moses Lake, 43 for Ephrata, 41 for the high in Quincy tomorrow, and then all points west and north. We will all be in the 30s tomorrow. Cool spot, Lake Wenatchee at 33, 38 right here in Wenatchee. But I do want to point out the changes from the Weather Service today. A storm is moving into the western part of Washington. We'll show you that in a second. But now we could pick up anywhere from 2 to 6 inches of snow, and that's right here in the Wenatchee Valley and all points west. And that's from Saturday at 4 p.m. until about Sunday at 4 p.m. And we'll show you why here in our loop. Tonight we can expect a bit of a trough beginning to form now just off the coastline. We will see snow showers develop overnight tonight. Low temperatures for most of us into the mid-20s, and there's that snow as it just jumps over the Cascades into the Wenatchee Valley. For Saturday, cloudy skies. That is a higher percentage now than 50. We're going to raise that to about 90% for Saturday. High temperatures will be hopefully in the upper 30s. We'll have to see with all the snow moving through. Remember, anywhere from 2 to 6 inches of snow is possible as we get into Sunday, and it's because of this spinning low pressure off the coast. It's going to bring that moisture and clouds right here into our area. That'll be about a 70% chance of snow on Sunday now, with high temperatures in the mid-30s, and then things begin to cool down a little bit, quiet down. Our low pressure will stay off the coast, but it will weaken and just throw us scattered bands of clouds on Monday. Highs in the mid to upper 30s to kick off our next work week. Not much change right through the week. Low pressure is just going to stay right there. Partly cloudy, continued cool on Tuesday. We'll see highs once again in those mid to upper 30s. Getting into Wednesday, a bit of a ridge of high pressure. Here it is in southern Oregon. That's going to make for a nice day. Partly cloudy and quiet on Wednesday, even though we're still below normal in temperatures with highs in the upper 30s. And then by the end of our forecast on Thursday, cloudy, still cool. We'll see highs in the upper 30s before this monster storm moves in, and that looks like that will happen a week from today. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast, brought to you by Apple Valley Honda. And overnight lows tonight will drop down pretty much where we've seen them, boy, the last 2 or 3 weeks. Mid-20s, 38 tomorrow. Remember, a big snow event from Saturday into Sunday is now being forecast by the National Weather Service. Keep that in mind, especially if you're traveling over Cascade Passes or even east into Lookout Pass. Lots of snow this weekend. 38 Saturday, 36 Sunday, and then a very quiet weather pattern from Monday all the way through Thursday. We'll see anywhere from partly to mostly cloudy skies with high temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
March is a food and wine lover's dream in Chelan, presented by Lake Chelan Wine Valley. Taste Chelan celebrates food and wine all March long, created to tickle your taste buds. Experience a food and wine tour happening every Saturday with special offers all month long. Local wineries select their most tantalizing varietals paired and curated with food from local restaurants, chefs, and culinary artisans. Taste Chelan. It'll bring out the foodie in you. Buy tickets now by visiting tastechelan.com.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
I want to invite you to watch Network TV. I interview different guests in technology, entrepreneurship, business, education, and nonprofit. It's a bit of a variety show, and you never know who you're going to meet or learn about on Network TV. Tune in weekly to the NCWLIFE channel.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy finally Friday. Two teams from North Central Washington are in the semifinals of the WIAA Hardwood Classic in Spokane. The rest going through the consolation bracket today. Brewster's back at the State 2B semifinals after a 71-61 win over Napavine yesterday. It was a day for Brady Wolf. He hit 9 3-pointers, finished with 30 points to lead Brewster to the victory. Bears will face Lynn Ritzville coming up in the semifinals. Lake Roosevelt stayed alive in the consolation bracket today by beating Northwest Christian 65-57. Chase Marchand led the Raiders with 29 points. Lake Roosevelt will play Morton White Pass tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for 4th or 6th place. J.C. Bolsel scored 25 points to lead the Okanagan girls to the semifinals of the State 2B tournament with an 87-60 win over Mabton. Bulldogs will face Napavine tonight at 9 o'clock for a chance to reach the state championship. Third-seeded DeSales made quick work of Moses Lake Christian in the quarterfinals of the State 1B tournament last night, winning 65-35. Lions were looking to stay alive today against Orcas Island. Waterville-Mansfield held number 3 Colton to just 8 second-half points at a 50-26 upset today at the WIAA State 1B girls tournament in Spokane. Jimena Garcia led the Shockers with 16 points, while Jasmine Garcia had 11.
Colton down by 17 points. 3-ball put up. Make it 20. Launching that one in as Jasmine Garcia knocks down a 3. They're up by 20 with 2 minutes remaining. They send the ball over to Nelson. Nelson back out on top they go. Cutting inside, putting a shot up and in is Jasmine Garcia. She goes right through the paint, puts it up and in. They swing it over quickly to Heistemann. Ball taken away by Waterville, and here comes the Lady Shockers up. Put it up and off the window, won't drop. They get the rebound, and Delaney Nelson puts it up and in. The upset is Colton's going home from this tournament, and Waterville going to move on as they win it 50-26.
How about that? Waterville-Mansfield will trophy for the first time in history as a combined school. Now, Waterville plays 6 times alone. Tomorrow, they'll face Oaksdale for 4th or 6th place at 8 o'clock in the morning. Cashmere senior Maddie Hammond hit a 3-pointer with 58 seconds left. Bulldogs made a couple of defensive stops down the closing stretch and beat Deer Park 47-45 this morning in the WIAA State 1A girls basketball tournament. That was in Yakima.
Deer Park with the 1-point advantage. McKenna guarded by Herring. Herring with the poke away. Yorkland picking up the pieces. McKenna back to Hammond. Hammond with the shot, and she makes the 3 to take back the lead. Under a minute left to play. Gary.
There she is. Too late.
And Herring fighting down low. She is double guarded, trying to fight her way through. And the tough shot guarded. Zimmer inbounds to Herring, back to Zimmer. Ryder, 2 seconds, and Zimmer gets it off, but it is no good. And with that, that will bring us to the end of this one.
Maddie Hammond finished with 9 points, while Brianna Talley led the Bulldogs with 14. Cashmere will face Montesano tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock for 4th or 6th place. Congratulations. Washington State won its 6th straight conference game for the first time in 30 years with a 93-84 win over Washington in men's college basketball last night. TJ Bamba scored a career-high 36-point. Andrew Yakubowski added a double-double for the Cougars with 12 points and a career-best 17 rebounds. Eastern Washington is the Big Sky Conference tournament in Boise this weekend. They'll face the winner of Saturday's game between Idaho and Northern Arizona. That'll be Sunday afternoon at 4:30. Washington State women's basketball team pulled the upset of number 3 Utah last night, 66-58 in the second round of the Pac-12 women's tournament. Bella Murakatetti led players in 3 players, that is, in double figures with 19. Washington State will face 20th-rated Colorado in the semifinals tonight at 8:30 on the Pac-12 network. How about Haley Van Lith? She led Louisville with 26 points today, 5 of 8 beyond the arc. Cardinals topped Wake Forest 74-48 in the quarterfinals of the ACC tournament. Louisville will play Notre Dame in the semis tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Well, the Wenatchee Bighorns opened their inaugural season in basketball, the Basketball League, last night with a big win over visiting Vancouver. In a last-minute shuffle, the Volcanoes stepped up in place of Seattle to face the Bighorns as their first opponent. Good crowd on hand at the Town Toyota Center to cheer on the new home team. Wenatchee's back at the Town Toyota Center Sunday against Salem at 3 o'clock. Well, Oliver Bjorkstrand's second goal of the night gave Seattle a 5-4 overtime win in Detroit last night. Jared McCann and Jaden Swartz helped give Seattle the lead, but the Red Wings were able to tie it up shortly before the end of regulation. That's when Bjorkstrand came through in the extra frame.
Larkin, Raymond, and Sider. 2 Wolverines on the draw, and Beniers and Larkin knock it aside, and Sider couldn't connect with Raymond. Justin Schultz for McCann. That missed the target. Bjorkstrand knocked it down. Time winding down on the power play for Seattle. Scores! Bjorkstrand let it go with a screen in front, and Seattle wins it in overtime.
Seattle had to jump on a plane head for Columbus after the game last night. They're facing the Blue Jackets right now on Root Sports Northwest. Wenatchee Wild celebrating one of their biggest promotions this weekend at the Town Toyota Center. Guns and Hoses night tomorrow night. Local firefighters and police square off on the ice in a charity game at 4 o'clock. It's followed by the Wild and Chilliwack Chiefs at 6:05. Mariners won a walk-off fashion yesterday over San Diego 5-4. Eugenio Suarez and Cooper Hummel hit solo home runs during the Cactus League game at Peoria before Alberto Rodriguez came through with a game winner in the bottom of the ninth.
The look in by Poppin, the right-hander's pitch swung on, well hit ball to right field. This one is going to be off the base of the wall. Polkovich the third being waved in by Manny. The throw-in is cut off. The relay to the plate. Polkovich slides. He's safe, and the ball game is over. Alberto Rodriguez with a double down the right field line, scoring Caden Polkovich all the way from first. And the Mariners come from behind and beat the Padres this afternoon. A final score of 5-4, a comeback win here in Peoria.
Hope to see you at Special Olympics opening ceremonies tonight at the Town Toyota Center. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great weekend. For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to NCWLIFE.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.